What if everything you've ever been taught about success, the hustle, the competition, the grind, was actually completely backward? Today, we're diving into a really fascinating philosophy called the Wilhelm System. The sources behind it claim it's a universal guide to success, not through more effort, but through more authenticity. So let's get into it and see what that's all about.
I mean, just think about that question for a second. It really flips the whole script on what we think of as achievement. We're taught to chase success like it's this thing out there, a bigger paycheck, a fancier title. But what if it's not something you get at all, but something you already are? What if the whole point of this game is just to unlock what's already inside of you? That's the big idea we're going to unpack today.
Okay, so that is a huge, huge claim. The first verified system in human history? You gotta ask, right? Verified by who and how? Well, the sources don't exactly offer up a scientific paper. Instead, they present this philosophical framework where the proof, the verification, actually happens internally for each person. The promise is that success is literally guaranteed once you align with who you truly are. So, what does that even look like? To give us some context, the system puts itself in a pretty grand lineage here. And when you look at these names, Socrates saying, "Know thyself," Buddha teaching inner freedom, Carl Jung exploring our authentic self, you see a pattern. The common thread is that the answers we're looking for aren't out there in the world, they're in here. This system basically presents itself as the next evolution of that long tradition of self-discovery. All right, this brings us to the absolute core rule of this entire philosophy. And honestly, it's a total game changer. It says that we've been chasing two different things, authenticity and abundance, when in reality, they're the exact same thing. This quote completely reframes how we look at our lives. The idea here is that we don't start out broken or lacking anything. We come into this world in a state of unlimited potential, total abundance. It's society, our upbringing, our culture. That's what teaches us all about scarcity and limitation. So the path to success isn't about gaining something new. It's actually about unlearning all the false limits we've been taught to believe are true. So you can really see the two different playbooks for life laid out here. On one hand, you have the traditional paradigm. That's the rat race, right? Climb the ladder, beat the other guy, get the prize. It's all based on this idea that there's not enough to go around. But the Wilhelm system says, nope, that's a rigged game. It suggests success doesn't come from performing better for everyone else, but from simply being more of yourself. It's the difference between trying to be the strongest lion in the jungle versus just being the best version of you that you can be. Okay, so you might be wondering, this internal alignment thing sounds good, but how does it actually create results in the real world? Well, the system says the universe itself operates on three core principles. You could almost think of them as the laws of physics, but for consciousness. Let's break them down. First up is the law of cause and effect, which you've probably heard of as the law of attraction. To put it really simply, where your attention goes, your energy flows. Your focus is like a cosmic magnifying glass. If you point it at all your problems, you're just going to get more problems. But if you point it at what's possible, the universe is said to amplify that and manifest it right back to you. Next up, and this one is so crucial, is the law of authentic expression. And the key idea here is that being authentic doesn't lead to abundance, it is abundance. See the difference? According to this philosophy, the very act of just expressing your true, genuine self is what opens up the floodgates to everything you want, a flow that was already yours to begin with. And finally, we have the law of the present moment. This one is simple but powerful. It says that all of your creative power exists right now. The past? That's just a library you can learn from, not a prison you have to live in. The future? That's a canvas for you to paint on, not something to be anxious about. The only point in time where you can actually change anything is this moment, right here. So we have the rules of the universe, but what about our own lives? How does this apply to us? Well, the system lays out a kind of map for our personal journey. It's a 5-stage path of evolution that it claims every single one of us goes through on our way back to our authentic selves. So let's walk this path. We all start at step 1, limitation. That's where we learn the rules of the world just to fit in and be safe. Then comes step 2, resistance and struggle. And this part is so important. The system says this isn't a sign you're failing. It's the universe's gym for your soul. It's building the inner strength you're going to need later. Step 3 is the big turning point, surrender. This isn't giving up. It's letting go of the oars and trusting the river.
That leads to step 4, self-discovery. That's the big aha moment when you realize you're worthy just as you are. And finally, you arrive at step 5, mastery and service, where you're just living your truth so fully that your life itself becomes a gift to the world.
Okay, so we've got the principles of the universe and we have the map of our own journey. But where exactly are we going? What's the whole point? What's the final goal of all of this?
Apparently, this whole philosophy was delivered over a 17-year curriculum. Can you imagine? And all of that time, all those lessons, were designed to lead to just one single profound realization.
And here it is, the final destination of this whole journey. It isn't enlightenment, or fame, or a ton of money. It's simply self-acceptance. According to this philosophy, the entire reason you're here, the only reason for this life, is to get to a place where you can fully and unconditionally accept yourself, flaws and all.
And just like that, the entire system brings us right back to where we started. It lays out this huge map of the universe and our souls, and it all leads to this one simple destination, self-acceptance. So, the curriculum is complete. The only thing left is the question that it's asking you right now. Are you ready to accept yourself?